Joined by Ohio State head coach Jake Diebler. And Jake, the backdrop says March Madness. You've made it to the tournament. What's going through your mind and what's going through this team's mind now that you're here?
We need to have a great day of prep. You know, we talked about it on Sunday. It was all about enjoying that moment for our players, wanted them to embrace that. And there was a great energy and excitement in the room when we saw, you know, our name be called and where we were going and who we were playing. But it quickly turned the next day to business. And this team has been motivated. This team stayed connected. We're playing with tremendous fight, and we're going to need all that tomorrow. But make no mistake, this is all business right now.
You guys were always very cautious about not listening to any outside noise, negative or positive. There are people that are picking you guys in this bracket and very confident in you guys. How are you handling that, knowing that every game, 40 minutes, it's a whole new season every time you're out there?
Yeah, when you play in the Big Ten, you know every single game is really hard, and you know every single game presents challenges. And so how you handle that adversity in game ultimately, you know, plays a big factor in the outcome. For us, we got tunnel vision right now. You know, we are locked in on TCU and locked in on us preparing to be our best. And outside of that, any outside noise, we're blocking it out as best we can so we can focus on being ready to play our best tomorrow.
We've talked so much about Bruce getting this opportunity. What have you seen from him in a leadership standpoint these last couple days?
I think he's echoed the message. You know, our guys, our leadership team, and certainly he helps lead the way, has echoed the message of, hey, like, we're playing our best ball of the season down the stretch. We want to keep that momentum going. And how we got to that point, we want to keep doing those things. So that's what our focus has been, one day at a time. You know, they've helped come up with that motto, and we're going to keep that going.
Jamie Dixon said he spent a lot of practice yelling about how they're going to guard Bruce Thornton. What are you focused on with this TCU team?
It starts with rebounding. You know, they've been really good going to the offensive glass. You got to rebound the ball, and we got to limit their opportunities in transition. You know, they do a good job getting out early offense. Those two areas are going to be really, really important. And then, you know, execute our principles in between those points of the possession defensively. And then on the offensive side, we got to play with great physicality. We got to, you know, play inside out. Ball's got to move, body's got to move, and we got to continue to trust each other.
As a second-year coach, this was always the goal here. How quickly did you see your guys shift from that celebration you talked about back to work, but also wanting to chase more than just being in the tournament and a team that can say, we made it, we want to go on a run now?
Yeah, when we showed up to work the next day, you know, our players had the right mentality, and I think that was important. Our staff, they didn't get to celebrate Sunday. We had to get to work, but you know, our guys, they got a chance to enjoy that. But then we came back to practicing hard, preparing well, film, on the court, off the court. Everything we're doing right now is to get ready to play our best tomorrow. And part of that is embracing the moment. You know, I want our guys to be excited, play with great joy. That's stuff we talk about every game. So this isn't new for us from the standpoint of how we're approaching this, and I think that's going to help us play well.
When you look at the preparation for this, have you reached out to any other coaches? I mean, this is your first as a head coach in the NCAA tournament. How have you handled it, knowing this is a lot of game in a short amount of time, trying to make sure guys are fresh but also ready to go?
Yeah, I've talked to one or two other coaches it's their first time in the tournament, and I've also talked to some guys who have won a lot of games in the tournament. And just I had some ideas and thoughts I wanted to bounce off some people I really trust, and you know, that's helped serve as some validation for me that we're doing the right stuff and how we're preparing. We got a lot of experience on our staff in the NCAA tournament too. So that was where I turned to first. Got guys who have been in Final Fours. Everybody on our staff's been in the NCAA tournament before this. So that experience is valuable too for me to lean on and for me to help execute our plan.
Got to ask, did you fill out a bracket? You plane ride, bus ride? Did you get a look at the whole bracket? Any thoughts on that?
I couldn't tell you where anybody else is outside of Ohio State, TCU, and that's about it. So that's our focus. There'll be a time and place to go back and review the bracket. I got a chance to, you know, in the background of watching some film last night, watched a little bit of the first four, so that was exciting. And, you know, our focus is all right now on TCU.
You always got other basketball games on. I'll just finish with this. It's a cliche question, but you're getting ready to coach your first game in the NCAA tournament. How excited are you, Coach?
You know, it's a blessing. You know, for me, it's validates a lot of what we did from the standpoint of just serving our players as well as we possibly can. Like that's my mentality. You know, I feel like God has put me in this position to serve the people that he's entrusted in this program, and I want to just do that to the best of my ability. So this was certainly a checkpoint for us to get to, and it was important to do that, and I'm certainly happy we did that. But our job's not done this season, and I'm going to continue to serve these players as best as I possibly can, and help put them in position to be successful tomorrow. That's what it's all about. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful. It's a blessing to be here. Certainly don't take that lightly, and we want to make the most of it.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.